Inca One is a gold ore processing and purchasing company that does business in Peru. And with me is the CEO, Edward Kelly, to explain everything about what you're doing. Gold has been so interesting lately. Let's talk about Inca One in particular, and what's the situation in Peru and what are you doing there?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's great to be here with you today. Yeah, we're a gold ore processing company with operations based in Peru. And it's a pretty simple business where we purchase mineral from artisanal small-scale miners, which there are literally tens of thousands of them that are registered with the government in Peru.
Okay.
We purchase from them, and we take their ore and we process it through a series of steps, and then 45 days later we've got a gold doré bar, which we export out of the country to Europe.
So you don't actually do the mining.
That's right.
The miners there, but you're kind of a middle company between.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're a necessary service to service this sector in Peru.
Right.
So we don't have any mining risk. We don't have any exploration risk. Literally last year we purchased mineral from over 340 different small-scale mines in Peru and different regions of Peru. And they bring their mineral, their rocks to us. We crush it, we assay it, we put a value on it, we agree to commercial terms, and then we put it through our process to be able to turn it into, separate the rock from the gold and turn the gold into doré and export it.
And when you say doré, you mean like a gold bar?
Gold bar, yeah. It's not like refined gold, but maybe a 40% gold, 40% silver, and maybe 20% copper.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you were talking a little bit about the London bullion market and how it relates to Peru. Explain that.
Yeah, so Peru is on the ASM sector, the artisanal small-scale mining sector. We are able to, since we're purchasing mineral from registered miners, and it's traceable back to those mines, those miners can sell their ore to us, and then we can sell it into the London bullion market exchange and be able to get a premium price for those miners.
And then what happens to the gold from there? Jewelry, industrial use?
Well, it's a mixture. It kind of gets into jewelry. A lot of central governments and banks purchase this and put it into reserves. So it really depends. We don't see what happens after that point.
You're just like, here you go. And
we do our part in a responsible and environmental and safe way, and then send it to those LBMA approved refineries.
Let's talk about the environment a little bit, because there has been issues with mining. How do you make sure that you are sensitive to all of that?
Well, it's a process, and that's part of the reason why we exist, because we've been in this business now for 10 years, and prior to it, in 2013, it was kind of like an unregulated sector in Peru. So Peru in 2013 made a real kind of drew a line in the sand and said, okay, we're now going to formalize this expanding sector in Peru, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, just in the ASM, artisanal small-scale mining sector. And we need responsible processors to be able to take that gold ore and process it in a responsible and environmentally friendly manner. Prior to that, it was kind of like very small. There was literally hundreds of these small plants that weren't doing things in a responsible manner without any kind of environmental practices or labor practices and safety. And in 10 years, it's come a long way. It's not quite where it needs to be just yet, but it's a process. And
Interesting.
It takes time.
And there's been a big push to sourcing in environmental ways. So I'm sure
100%.
that's something you have to certify, and when you're selling it in the broader market.
Yeah, and that's really what that's the purpose of our company at the end of the day, is to be able to source responsible, traceable mineral, and then be able to take it to LBMA refineries. And then the next step after that is really getting some of the end use, like the purchasing, the brands, the jewelry brands, they'll be able to give a premium in their gold price to the small-scale miners if they're doing their steps properly.
I see.
And then it'll end up, then the brands and the watches, the Swiss watches, will be able to tell the people that buy a watch that this gold in this watch is from this region in Peru, and it's been sourced and mined in a responsible manner.
Interesting. Are you using any technology to certify that, like blockchain or anything, or would that be something in the future?
It's not quite there yet, but I think that's where it's going to be going to in the future. Yeah, that would be really interesting to see.
Yeah. Gold has hit a record high.
Yeah.
Been a very good, really 2 years for gold. 2024 was also, or 23 was also a good year for gold. What do you attribute that to, and how does that impact your business?
Well, it's really attributed to a lot of delever or the leverage of debt in the world, and purchasing from central banks all over the world. So I think that's the main factor, and it's doesn't lie. There's been a lot of inflation, so people are looking to be able to protect their wealth in gold,
and gold has always been able, for centuries you've been able to do that with gold. So and there is a sense that I feel like people are trying to diversify into a lot of different things because it's such an uncertain time right now. And how does the higher gold price increase your profits?
Yeah, it does. It also brings lower grade mineral that, say, the ASMs, Artisanal Small Scale Miners, wasn't financially viable to bring that ore to market. Now it's already been mined, maybe stockpiled, they can bring it, so there's a bigger demand for our ore processing services. It also costs more to be able to purchase that mineral, so we need financing from good groups to be able to purchase that. And I think you're going to see it trending higher here because of just, if you look around the world, inflation and debt servicing, interest. There's going to be more and more concern over debt around the world.
The hard assets.
Hard assets.
Yeah. So what's the future for Inca One?
Well, Inca One, this is our 10th year of operations. Last year, we only operated at about 20% of our built-out and permitted capacity. So we're looking to fill that excess capacity, looking for financial instruments to be able to purchase it, and grow the business and grow in a responsible manner.
Okay, and thank you so much for coming and telling about Inca One.
Great.